Hey everyone, hello and welcome to A-Tech Reviews. Today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Elysian DIVA 2023 edition. It is one of the two IMs I've been using as my daily drivers for some time now. There are many things I like about it and I want to share it with you guys and let you know why I use it, why it has been my decision to get it. I've been using it non-stop along with the Glacier since CanJam. And there are a few reasons for that, but I didn't review it for a long time. Number one, because I wanted to be sure of my long-term impressions as well, because we had a lot of IMs that had a lot of potential, and I wanted to give an accurate long-term review after the honeymoon period is over. I don't like to hype things and so on. And number two, we had a lot of IMs that I wanted to review, and they got a lot of my time and a lot of my attention and so on. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the DIVA, and then I'll do a comparison between it and between the Pilgrim, because I think they are more similar than different, in my opinion. They have a lot of similarities, and I want to share that with you. And then I'll compare it to my other daily driver, the DUNU Glacier and the Unique Melody Mest Mark III Carbon Fiber Edition, and then I'm going to be comparing it to the DUNU SA6 Mark II, another 6BA IM. Funny story, actually. When I got this IM, I know you guys will laugh because I laugh about it myself, and I'm not joking. When I got this IM, I couldn't hear the brand actually when they were talking to me during CanJam and stuff. Everything was busy, and I think when I looked at my phone, I was distracted and I confused it with another IM actually. And I thought it had a dynamic driver. It's a funny story. It makes me look foolish, but I'm gonna say it. Only after I came back home and I was listening for it, casually, of course, I still didn't get the time to focus on it. But then I was surprised one day, after 2 weeks of almost daily listening to it at night, I was surprised one day when I discovered that, man, these are a 6BA driver IM. And I have to say, I have also my biases and stuff like that, and to be honest, I'm happy I made the beautiful mistake that I got them, because if I learned that they were only a 6BA driver IM, maybe I would not get them. Maybe I would still have some reservations, like stereotypes and so on, but I'm really glad I took the step, because these are probably maybe the best IMs that I use along with the Glacier, and that's just my opinion, and I will explain how. Now, when we go to the unboxing experience, I will show you guys a few pictures about what happens here. The unboxing experience is nice. It comes with a box, it opens, and so on. It has only one set of ear tips. I kind of wish it had more ear tips, that's just my opinion. And then it comes with this nice carrying case. It's a nice size, maybe it's slightly big for your pocket, but it's very good in the hand. It feels good, it feels premium, looks premium. And then you get a small brush with it, and you get this tiny screwdriver actually, which is important. Let's look at the IMs themselves. They are simply wonderful, and you can see here, I'll post also a better looking pictures. They are simply stunning. They look very beautiful. Wow, in my opinion. Elysian is one of those brands that I honestly believe they deserve your money. They have very expertly tuned IMs. They provide an excellent quality, and most of all, sound quality that is unmatched, by most IMs, in my opinion. The cable, forget the name, it's called Aris or something. It's a very high quality cable actually. There are a few options like 3.5, 4.4, Term X, which has different connectors and so on. It's nice. Another thing is that you get what they call the Pentagon ear connection, and when I asked the brand about this, they said it has lower contact resistance, it sounds better, it has a very low failure rate, and so on, and of course it avoids the polarity issues. I have to say it is probably the best connection I have used. You can see it even disconnects very easily, and you can connect it very easily as well. No problem here. The only issue I find, some people maybe, I'm guessing they could find that if they want to change cable swap and so on, they might want to use other cables, and you will be hard pressed to find a cable in your collection usually with this type. But in my opinion, the cable it comes with is excellent. No need to change anything. I like the cable so much. It's a cable from effect audio, as you can see here. It's a very high quality cable. Everything about this IM is almost perfect. Now, if we look at the IMs themselves, let me take this one out here so that you can have a better look. You will find it has a dip switch. Like, I will try to zoom in later. And what you do is be careful with the screwdriver. You don't want to scratch the IMs themselves. And what you do is that you put it here and then you point it like so, left or to the blue. The blue one is the more bass, like you can remember it, B for blue and bass. And in the middle is white, and then you go to the red, which is like less bass. I will show a graph overlaying the three differences. There's a small difference between the white switch and the blue and red ones because I measured the white switch like maybe a month or two ago. This review is going to be talking about the white switch, which is my experience with it, for a few reasons, because I think the blue switch like adds a lot of sub bass, but doesn't add a lot of mid bass, in my opinion, and so the sound becomes a bit more different for my preferences. And at the same time, I find myself preferring the white switch because there's like this vocal magic that goes on, and the tuning, I like this IM a lot when it comes to the white switch. If we go to the blue switch, I find the vocals are still clear and everything, but it just, you know, the bass takes your attention more or grabs your attention more than the mid-range, and that's not something I like to see, to be honest. Like, I prefer the vocals to have, you know, a mid-centric presentation that grabs my attention. Now, let's talk about the sound quality here. As you can see in the graph here, like it's almost neutral. I would describe the sound presentation as that, maybe slightly vocal forward. And if I talk about the bass is actually one of the best bass like on a BA ever, and it sounds like a dynamic driver, but a light one. There are a few things in it that impress anyone, in my opinion. For example, you will not believe that this has a sub-bass rumble that you can hear on bass heavy tracks. The bass itself is so fast, so dynamic, so clear, and there is a slam actually. It's a light one compared to other powerful dynamic drivers, but it is there, so I have to say that. And it is very clean, very detailed, and the bass has a lot of texture. Man, it has a lot of texture and detail in it. It's a very, very, very high quality bass. The only thing I will nitpick and say here is I wish it had a few more dBs of mid bass. Just for those tracks, you know, when I'm listening to hip hop or K-pop and J-pop, these things that, you know, sound really good with that extra few dBs of mid bass. That's just my opinion. Other than that, the mid bass itself is very clean, very detailed, very textured, and I actually will tell you it is very satisfying. Like, if I didn't know that it has a 6BA drivers, I would not complain. I just thought it's a light driver or light dynamic driver, or maybe I thought like maybe it's tuned that way. It's a dynamic driver, but it's tuned to have less mid bass. Quality is excellent, texture is excellent, dynamics is top notch. That's just my opinion here. Now, when we move on to the mid-range, here is the star of the show of this IM. Here's the standout feature. Here's the best part about the Elysian DIVA. Is it sounds really, really, really good. Like, it sounds detailed. It sounds so natural. It sounds like this is one of the things that happen when you go into high-end IMs, specifically from good brands. Not every high-end IM is worth the money, in my opinion. But this is what happens with one brand, or at least one model, like the DIVA 2023, is the mid-range sounds so clean, so detailed, never, never, never harsh. Like, for example, guys, I have a test tracks, 18 tracks actually, that are sibilant, that are naturally sibilant. They are sibilant, the way they are recorded, proximity effect from the mic, and you know, the voices in them, I don't know, they are very sibilant. Even on my speakers, even on my Sennheiser HD6XX, they are sibilant. No matter where you use them, even on dark IAMs, they are sibilant. And I'm telling you 100% on the Elysian DIVA 2023, they never sound sibilant or harsh. This is something I don't understand. And I'm guessing now you kind of understand why I got this IM. Now, this is the reason I got this IM because not every day I want to listen to a lot of detail. I don't want to listen to a lot of, you know, mistakes in the videos. Like, you can watch a movie or see a video or something, and there's like loud noises, people scream in the video, or they are laughing loudly, or get close to the mic and shout at it, and these things could be hurtful when you listen to just revealing IMs, even like the DUNU Glacier. But on the Diva, it never sounds like that. All I'm getting with like female vocals, Adele, Taylor Swift, everything I love actually sounds very natural, very, very detailed, very magical and addicting. Like, I don't know how to describe it, other it is realistic, exactly, almost exactly like you hear sounds in real life. You know, that's the way I describe it. Never harsh, never sibilant, not lacking anything, smooth and so detailed, so detailed. It's like you forget you're using an IM. This is why this IM is worth every single penny, in my opinion. It's really, really an excellent IM. And that's just my opinion about it. That's just my description of it. When we get to the treble, I'm so happy to say there is a lot of extension, there's a lot of air, there's a lot of clarity and shimmer up top, without ever crossing into the sibilant territory, without going into that harsh region. Again, even if you use harsh tracks, like this is one of the reasons, again, I got this and I use it, is I can use I'm watching bad videos that have very bad audio recordings, very bad quality, I mean. I'm watching like harsh tracks, a sibilant, like songs or something like that, instruments that are prone to getting into the harsh area. I can have no problem here. I hear the detail, I can describe it, I can hear very well, and I'm not careful just to lower the volume immediately because it's painful to me. Imaging is accurate, detail retrieval is like, I would give it 9.5 out of 10. Not because it's bad or anything, it's excellent and better than most of the competition. But I say 9.5 out of 10 for the technicalities or detail retrieval, maybe 9, I'm not sure, is because I've heard other IMs that are so detailed. For example, like the DUNU Glacier, Anoli VX, and even the Annihilator 2023, when I compare them side by side, I found it so more detailed. So I give it like that. It's very detailed. It's more detailed than the Monarch Mark II, Mark III. Yes, it is. And it has like almost everything you need. There's no sound missing when I'm listening to the Diva. On the other hand, the imaging is also accurate and on point. Like, you can pinpoint the sound location all around you. And with the soundstage, of course, it's an Elysian IM and it sounds wonderful. It has very wide soundstage, immersive. This is the area where we get to an IM that is above average width here. And of course, there is a good sense of depth. It's immersive. This is, guys, to describe it, this is one of the IMs where you literally put it in your ear and you forget the world, you forget there's no harshness, it's wide, it's immersive. You just, if I'm watching a movie, I'm immersed in it. If I'm listening to a track, classical music, a symphony, I'm disappearing with it, you know. I'm not here, I'm focused and closing my eyes, and it's just so, it's like as if you're listening to the speakers, nothing harsh, everything is detailed, everything is good. You're with the music, you know, and you like forget the world for an hour or two. It's just a beautiful experience. You use this with your DAP, and it sounds so good that even detailed IMs that I have, like the Glacier, do not give me this experience. Now, I want to go now to the comparison segment quickly, and I will start the comparison segment with the Elysian Pilgrim. Now, Elysian Pilgrim is a favorite of mine, and I think it has a lot in common with the Elysian Diva. And when I compare them side by side, because I know what people ask me here, now I have to say they are more similar than they are different. And what I mean is the tonality is almost on point. What I mean by that is that when I listen, again, my comparison is done using the middle white switch, which gives us a mid-level of bass, like it's in the middle according to the tuning or dip switches. I feel that the Pilgrim has almost the same exact tonality, with a very few small differences. Like the mid bass on the Pilgrim is a bit more, and that is a very welcome addition. And I feel like the Pilgrim maybe has slightly more air. even when I'm just listening to podcasts or just vocals, I feel that small extra sense of air and clarity. And it's a very, very welcome addition. It makes everything sound spacious and sound like clear with a good sense of air. It makes it, enjoyable to listen to something and makes things sound real, more real, lifelike. But the difference other than that will be in the quality of the sound, in the detail retrieval, and instrument separation specifically. Like, for example, if I'm listening to a podcast, or like vocals only, I feel they're very similar. There's not a lot of instruments. I cannot pinpoint anything and just complain about it. But when we get to the music, for example, I listen to anything, I find now that instruments are more realistic on the Diva. They are more natural, more lifelike, and there's a lot of detail. The song picks up, and man, the Diva uncovers layer after layer after layer of clarity and detail. Tonality is very similar, that when you compare them side by side, the difference is only apparent in the detail retrieval, the imaging, the soundstage. These are the things that jump at me. I feel, oh yeah, I hear everything here, but here I hear it, but it's much more clear, much more detailed. I can't put a number on it, honestly, but they're very close. And now I kind of understood why people were talking online and saying that the Pilgrim is an IM, competing with the high end, because I honestly think it is similar to the Diva in tonality, not in sound quality. The sound quality, there is a difference. Yeah, there is really a difference. Like when I put the Diva in my ears, I feel natural, lifelike sound. I'm not using an IM in my ear. When I use the Pilgrim, it sounds very close and excellent, but it's still an IM in my ear. That experience doesn't go away in any way. So that's interesting. Another thing now we will compare it is with the SA6. Now the SA6 is one of my favorite IMs actually. I always keep it. I will never get rid of it. I love it. It's a lot of detail retrieval. The difference between them is still big. Obviously the Diva has a lot of better bass. The quality of it is much more. I know the SA6 has excellent bass that sounds like a DD. Honestly, it has DD qualities. I will not say it sounds like a dynamic driver, but it has a lot of qualities from dynamic drivers. But still, you can feel it's a BA driver, but it's an excellent BA. The Diva fooled me, as I said. I thought it had literally a dynamic driver inside. I didn't know. That's how good it is. Still, it is a BA, or its sound qualities in the bass is still a BA. Unlike the Mark II here, it's still a BA sound as well. Other than that, I think the difference in the mid-range is the Diva is more forward in its vocal presentation, in its mid-range presentation. The instruments, the vocals specifically, are much, much, much better, much more realistic, much more detailed, never harsh, never sibilant or anything. The Mark II is never sibilant to me or anything like that, the SA6, but they even have more clarity and air to my ears, much more, to a noticeable degree. But if you listen to harsh tracks, you will begin to feel it when you use the SA6. Whereas the Diva, you can use whatever you want, it will never sound harsh. I have to say I like the air on the Mark II a lot. It's excellent. So the differences between them: more bass on the Diva, much better bass on the Diva, more detail in general compared to the SA6. And the Diva is also more vocal forward, has more forward mid-range presentation. And the treble is balanced, can never sound harsh, even if you listen to harsh music. Still, I have to say the SA6 is an excellent value when you compare them side by side. It really proves itself here, and it explains why it's still selling after all this time. Now, when I compare it to the DUNU Glacier, another favorite of mine, the first thing you notice is two things immediately jump at you when I compare them. Number one is the bass. Now immediately you start to feel, the high quality dynamic driver bass, the subwoofers feeling that you get in your head, the sub bass rumble that is so strong and it comes even at the slightest provocation. Mid bass is where I want it to be, and it's very satisfying. You can hear any music that has bass. You always hear that bass it has without being distracting. Now, I saw people complain online, only two people, honestly, that they say it's a bit, the DUNU Glacier is shouty or harsh. I have to say, again, everyone's ear are different, and again, I got this myself, no one gave it to me, and I tell you, it never sounds shouty or harsh to my ears, and I listen to a lot of harsh genres of music, like K-pop, J-pop, and rock and metal. It never sounds harsh to my ears. I use moderate volume, specifically 60 to 85 decibels max. You have to protect your hearing, guys. And it never sounds harsh to me, even when I listen to harsh music. Why is that? I don't know. I just get a good seal, and it never sounds harsh. It actually sounds very, very detailed, very, very incisive and sharp. Not sharp in a like artificial sharpness way, but more like revealing every detail in your music. And the detail retrieval of the Glacier is actually a step above the Diva. And it's a noticeable step up, like a lot more clarity, a lot more nuances. Like with the Glacier, when I listen, I can hear the breath sometimes of the singer, on live recorded music. I can hear the strums of the guitar and the way they, move their hands or fingers across the strings. I can hear that. The slides, the guitar slides, I can hear that with clarity. It's just so close to my ear. Vocals are also more forward, more clear, more detailed. Even the bass is so detailed. And the treble, it just has a lot more detail retrieval without sounding harsh or sharp. But if you remember, guys, I said I have an 18-track list that has a lot of sibilance, natural sibilance. No matter what I use, it's always there. So when I use the Glacier, sibilant recordings sound sibilant. Natural recordings or free from sibilants do not sound sibilant, they sound normal. But when I use the Diva, this is why I got the Diva. When I use the Diva, even the sibilant tracks are not. So the Diva, you can see it's a more relaxing listen. When I use it, I can listen to anything I like, and I never feel harshness. I never feel anything. If I'm watching badly recorded YouTube audio, for example, if people are talking, or a podcast, people are laughing or getting their mouth close to the mic and maybe talking loudly suddenly or something, like, never feel anything with the Diva. Whereas the Glacier will reveal everything to you on a silver platter, and you decide. So that's the difference between them. Which one, can I choose? I have to say both have their strengths and weaknesses. I remember when I listened to the Anole VX, the level of detail also was similar to the Glacier. It just presents everything to you, like, immediately. Like, everything is distinct, everything is separated, everything, the smallest nuances are provoked and exaggerated. So that is something. So if you are prone to using like harsh music, or like, you don't like something, like you want something more forgiving, that's where the Diva comes in. And the Diva still detailed a lot. Like, it's better than any IM at the $1,000 range in the level of detail. It just, when you compare it to some other IMs like the Glacier or the Anole VX, you notice that, yeah, they have maybe more detail, a lot more actually. Not a lot, but a noticeable, considerable amount. It's not double or anything, but like maybe 30% more. When we move on to the Unique Melody Mest, I have to say, like, I like about it that it has a holographic soundstage. It's something to experience. Like, you have to experience that and understand what it means. It's very immersive. It has a lot of depth, a lot of width, and it's truly enjoyable. Like, it's an enjoyable experience. I got this one the first, like, before all of the others. And I have to say, it's enjoyable. It's very enjoyable, very fun. But the moment I saw the Diva, and I heard the Diva, and I heard the Glacier, I started to like them more. And I feel the Unique Melody Mest, although it sounds very good, and the only thing I think I like about it a lot is the holographic soundstage. When we move on to the mid-range, to my preference, it's a bit pulled back, not recessed, but really like in the background. And specifically when you listen to good recordings that has good stereo imaging, good soundstage, and the sounds are, away from you and coming back, like coming back at a distance. Like, I can hear that distance on the Diva and on the Glacier. I think I can hear the sounds far away from me and coming back. But on the Mest 3 CF edition, I find that these sounds that are in the background usually become very hard to hear. I don't know what the vocals are saying. For example, you can notice live recordings where the band is playing in the background and the band is singing and they're saying something, so maybe there's a chorus in the background or something. Like on the Unique Melody Mest, I find like I can't hear exactly what they're saying. Like I have to focus, and still I'm not exactly sure. It's like the soundstage is so wide that the vocals get lost in it. But on the Glacier, it's in your face, like that background chorus. It's like they're talking to me. Like it's like I'm talking to them. They are like exactly next to my ear. Whereas on the Diva, it's balanced. They are in the background, but they're clear. They're okay. You know, like if someone like dropped a glass, you know, of water or something on the floor and the glass cracked, on the Diva I have no problem. You know, nothing is harsh. So that's just my impression about all of them. I can feel here that Pilgrim has a lot of value. You can see that. And the choice between the MK II also provides a lot of value, but without the bass of the Diva, of course. And you can see here the choice between the Diva, the Glacier, and the Unique Melody. To summarize it quickly, forgiving but very detailed, absolutely like wonderful vocals, perhaps the best I've heard. And the Glacier is a detail monster, never sounds harsh again. I stand by that statement because I test it again every time I hear someone say that. I test my tracks and it just reveals the music, and at moderate volume it never sounds like that. But I have to say, if you are a person who finds the Moondrop variations shouty, probably you will find this shouty as well. For me, like, I love the Moondrop variations, I love the Chopin, I love the Truth or Nova. I don't find these things harsh or shouty at all, and so does my experience with the Glacier. For the Unique Melody Mest, so the Glacier, as I said, it's for extracting every detail in your music, and the Unique Melody Mest is for those who want a holographic like soundstage at the expense of natural timbre and tonality. And maybe an experience of pulled back vocals, backgrounded vocals, you know, not like really recessed, but yeah, in the back a lot. So that's my experience, guys. Comment down if you have any questions. I will reply to them, and let me know what you think about this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.